Rosemary, our property management trainer, Rosemary, or as I should say, property management guru, said, you've got to talk about inspection reports and management agency inspection reports. And she was really quite excited about it this morning, or agitated, or, one of those words we can put in there. Because she said so many places she's talking to and so many agents she's talking to, and certainly as they're preparing for tribunal matters, they're finding that there has been no inspection report done. Now, in Schedule 2 of the regulations, Part 2, where it starts talking about property management, Clause 19, it actually states that an agent must, as soon as practical, we'll come back to that little bit, after entering into an agency agreement for the management of a property. Now, we're talking obviously residential property here. Prepare and give to the owner of the property an inspection report for the property. Now, it says as soon as practical. Now, that's not defined, so it could be, obviously, if you can get in there's no tenants, or you're not taking over management where there's a tenant already in the property, then you do it at the time of signing the agency agreement. Best time to do it so you know what you're actually managing. If there are issues there, then maybe you'll say, well, we're going to charge you a higher percentage for the first couple of months to get this property in order, and then we'll charge you, we'll put it down, or vice versa, whatever that happens to be. So always good to do that management agency inspection report first, but you have to pass that on to your owner. Now, obviously, it says as soon as practical, because sometimes if you are taking over the management of property and there's already a tenant in the property, you may not be able to get in there for 7 days, 14 days, depending on the notice periods of, why you're going into those premises. And then obviously the availability of the tenant to, organise a mutually suitable time for you to get in there. Now, obviously the inspection report needs to be signed by the agent. It becomes part of your managing agency agreement. It duplicates some of the information that is on your managing agency agreement. It has the name and address of the owner, has the address of the property, the date that you prepared the report. So there you're looking for that as soon as practicable bit there. The agent's name, your license number, your business address, all the normal things that are on any of your documentation. A description of the exterior and their interior. So don't just write, all in good condition. You actually need to describe, is it a brick house? Is it a brick veneer house? Is it a fibro house? Is it a weatherboard house? What is it? Is it concrete block? Is it poured concrete? What on earth is this property that you're writing a report about? You've got to include your fixtures, your fittings, your improvements, anything that's provided with the property. So is there a dryer? Is there a ride-on lawnmower? Is there, whatever it is that's supplied with the property? And you also need to include any work that still needs to be done by the owner of the property to get that property into a habitable form. Remember, out of your landlord information statement, that the landlord has to provide a property that is habitable. So, to get that there. Now, the issue is that what we're seeing is, and what we're hearing about, is that a lot of agents, they do the managing agency agreement part, but they're not getting the inspection report done. So here I've read you, the clause out of the regulations that says you must do an inspection report. I think here the issue is there's a lot of assistant agents who are going out and doing this. They're not signing the report, or they're not completing the report, because entering into that agency agreement and all of that goes along with that, it needs to be signed off by a licensed agent. Now, an assistant agent can go and do the work, but it just needs to be verified by that licensed agent. So just make sure that you're getting that done. Make sure that your owner, your landlord, is getting a copy of that as soon as possible after you've entered into your managing agency agreement. Otherwise, you don't have a complete agreement. So when you hop into any type of dispute with your landlord about this, or end up in tribunal, you're going to have some questions to ask and maybe not even be able to make claims. So just be very careful about all of that.